Everyone had heard whispers, rumors that something dark was hidden beneath Diddy's mansion. But no one expected this. Pam Bondee unveiled it all in court. Sealed files, chilling photos, and descriptions so disturbing they silenced the room. The gallery gasped. Even the judge froze. This was no longer speculation, it was undeniable. All rise, the bailiff called out as Judge Harold Franklin entered, face stern, eyes alert. Pam Bondee straightened her blazer and stepped forward, carrying a file thick enough to break a lock, Your Honor, she said, locking eyes with Diddy across the courtroom. The prosecution is ready to present new evidence. At the defense table, Diddy sat stone-faced, flanked by his attorneys Martin Vale and Lisa Cho. Proceed, Ms. Bondi. The judge nodded. She placed a large brown envelope on the evidence table. This, she said firmly, was recovered during a court-approved search of Mr. Combs's Holmby Hills estate, specifically from a concealed chamber beneath the West Wing basement. The courtroom fell completely still. Inside were dozens of digital storage devices, 2 unregistered firearms, and a locked ledger. Gasps rippled through the gallery. Vale shot to his feet. Objection, Your Honor. This was not disclosed. It was disclosed under seal. Pam cut in sharply. And the defense was provided a mirror of the drives 72 hours ago. The judge raised a hand, overruled. Continue. Ms. Bondi. She clicked a remote. The screen behind her lit up with a freeze frame from a video. This footage is dated January 17, 2019. It shows the defendant, along with multiple unidentified individuals, some believed to be missing persons from our witness list, entering the underground chamber. Please note the timestamp. The clip rolled. 15 seconds. No audio. Faces pixelated except one, a young man, presumably Jacob Farrow. He disappeared in 2020 after claiming he was writing a tell-all book about Diddy's inner circle. This chamber, Pam said, voice unwavering, was not a wine cellar. It was a soundproofed, climate-controlled interrogation site. She paused. The room held its breath. Forensic analysis confirmed blood traces on the floor matched to 2 cold cases, Maris Doyle and Anita Harper. A loud gasp echoed through the gallery. Even Judge Franklin leaned back, visibly rattled. We'll reassess for 10 minutes, he said quietly. Diddy's jaw clenched. His lawyers leaned in, whispering furiously. Vale looked shaken. Lisa Cho scribbled fast and hard into her legal pad. Outside, CNN's Amanda Phillips stood live. Explosive revelations today as Pam Bondee presented disturbing evidence connecting Sean Combs to multiple missing persons cases. While the defense remains silent, the prosecution is clearly closing in. Back inside, the judge returned to the bench. Pam stood once more. In addition to the footage, she said, the ledger found in the chamber contained detailed payment records to 5 private contractors, all paid in cash, all through shell companies. She paused. We believe these individuals were hired for surveillance, coercion, and cleanup. Vale stood, pale. Your Honor, this is turning into a circus. Sit down, Mr. Vale. The judge snapped. The jury will hear the evidence. Pam pressed on. One final detail. The last page of the ledger lists a name. Michael Truss, a private pilot employed by Mr. Combs for over 6 years. After seeing news of this trial, Mr. Truss came forward. She turned to the witness stand. A lean man in his 50s, sharp eyes, voice trembling, took the oath. They made me sign NDAs, he said, barely above a whisper. But after my nephew went missing, I couldn't stay quiet. I saw things, young people flown in. Some never came out. Lisa Cho leaned toward Diddy and whispered, you need to consider a plea. Diddy shook his head. They've got nothing. Pam closed her laptop slowly. This isn't speculation, she said, voice ringing through the courtroom. This is a pattern. This is intent. Judge Franklin sat still for a moment, his face grave. The court will reconvene tomorrow at 9 a.m. with cross-examination. He finally said, but let the record show, this case has changed. Diddy clenched his jaw for the first time. He looked unsure. The next morning, the courtroom was packed. Spectators lined the gallery, media crowded the halls. Everyone waited to see what would come next. Judge Franklin banged the gavel. Ms. Bondi, he said, you may proceed. Your Honor, today we focus on the ledger recovered from Mr. Combs' hidden chamber. Pam Bondee began, her voice unwavering. This isn't just a log of transactions, it's a map of disappearances and those paid to make people vanish. She handed printed pages to the jury and pointed to page 11, a $175,000 payment to Cloudlight Solutions. a shell company linked to Jared Kulsana, former security contractor last seen the night musician. Taylor Reid disappeared after leaving Diddy's 2018 Miami party. Page 22 showed $80,000 wired to Triune Logistics, a company tied to a raided warehouse connected to journalists. Rachel Marin's disappearance after attending a Combs VIP event, Judge Franklin leaned forward. Ms. Bondi, are you alleging these funds were used to commit crimes? Yes, Your Honor, she replied, then called forensic accountant Dana Kessler, who revealed that over $2.4 million had been funneled to shell companies linked to federal investigations. Diddy's attorney, Lisa Cho, objected guilt by association, but Kessler countered, not association coordination, showing one payment matched the night for guests, vanished after filing anonymous complaints. Pam presented more names from the ledger. Marcus Stone, a DJ who accused Diddy's team of coercion, and Leela Jameson, an influencer reportedly working on a documentary. Then came the shocker. Page 33 marked Pamela B. neutralized, dated 2 weeks before Bondi received death threats. That's motive, she stated. Diddy finally stood. This is a smear campaign. I built an empire, people want to destroy it. Pam folded her arms, then explained why 5 ex-bodyguards fled the country, and why 2 investigators tied to your team are now working with the feds. Outside, headlines exploded. Bondi exposes Diddy's ledger of secrets. The court recessed until Monday, giving defense time to process the evidence. As reporters swarmed Diddy, he walked out, silent and guarded. Monday, court resumed under heavy security. Bondi called Malik Henderson, Diddy's former head of security, who testified that a secret tunnel ran beneath the estate, accessible only by Diddy, his assistant Leon Partridge, and a man known as the Cleaner, real name Trent Miles, who died in a suspicious car explosion. Malik recalled VIPs disappearing, guests returning shaken, and 2 women carried out in sheets, no medics. Just Trent and Leon. Lisa Cho objected, but Pam revealed Exhibit 1 to E, encrypted texts and security logs from Malik's phone. Malik admitted he once tried reporting it to LAPD but was told, "You're not the first," followed by threats and harassment. That's the environment Diddy created. Pam said, fear, silence, and control. She held up a folder for more employees under protection ready to testify. Lisa cross-examined, "Did Diddy ever tell you to harm anyone?" "No," Malik answered. "He didn't have Tootha. Threat was always implied," the gallery whispered. The judge slammed his gavel. Outside, media reported, Diddy's secret tunnel confirmed by bodyguard. Inside, Diddy hissed, "Discredit him. Find dirt." But Martin Vale whispered back, "If another witness confirms the tunnel, we're done," Pam whispered. "Now it's time for Leon." The room fell silent as Leon Partridge entered, escorted by marshals, looking weary and aged beyond his years. Pam stood once more. "Your Honor, the prosecution calls Leon Partridge, former executive assistant to Mr. Sean Combs." Leon took the stand, avoided Diddy's gaze, and when asked what he did, replied, "Officially, scheduling errands. Unofficially, coordinated transport, security with Malik, and handled the things nobody else would." Pam Bondee stepped forward, her voice razor sharp. "Mr. Partridge, what kind of guests were escorted through the tunnel?" Leon hesitated, then answered, "Models, influencers, dancers, journalists, people with no close family, people who wouldn't be missed." The jury leaned in. "Were you aware of the tunnel beneath the Holmby Hills estate?" "Yeah," Leon admitted. "I had one of the 3 access codes. I was told to escort guests who caused trouble. After that, they were processed." That's the word Diddy used. Trent took over. "I rarely saw those guests again." Diddy clenched his jaw, whispering to Lisa Cho, "He's folding, he's lying." Pam didn't blink. "Did Mr. Combs ever confirm this to you directly?" Leon nodded. "In 2020, after journalist Rachel Marin came to a party undercover, she was caught filming. Diddy told me, 'Nobody sees that footage, you know where to send her.' I walked her to the tunnel, that's all." After that, Diddy and Trent talked. The next morning, her car was still outside, but she was gone. Pam asked gently, "Why speak now?" Leon's voice cracked. "I lied to myself. I thought it was just intimidation. But when I saw Malik's testimony and those names on the ledger, I realized we were part of something monstrous." Lisa Cho jumped up. "Objection. He's under duress, cooperating for immunity." Judge Franklin turned to Leon. "Is that true?" "Yes." Leon said, "I signed a federal cooperation agreement, but I'm not getting immunity. Only protection." Pam turned to the jury. Because his testimony is backed up by texts, flight logs, and eyewitness accounts. Leon added, "You want names? Look up Cameron Cross. He came with his girlfriend. They argued. Diddy asked, 'Is he a problem?' I said no." Diddy replied, "I'll make sure of it." Cameron hasn't been seen since Pam submitted Exhibit 1 for B security footage of Cameron arriving at the estate, but never leaving. We're not building.